Alright, so I know I'm reviewing the Batman 3 months after it came out, but look, I really wanted to see it in cinemas, but unfortunately I got COVID, which really sucked, but don't worry, I'm all better now. I just have hay fever. Also, sorry that I haven't posted anything in a year, but that's gonna be different now. I plan on posting a lot more regularly. But better late than never, and the film was well worth the wait. Keep in mind that this review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to get on that before you watch this. First, let's talk about Robert Pattinson's performance. Before it was officially announced who would get the part, I was really rooting for him. The only other films I'd really seen of his were The Twilights and Harry Potter, so needless to say, I was pretty curious to see how he would do. But when I saw the first couple of trailers, I wasn't entirely convinced. The film looked like it was trying to take this really edgy approach, and I didn't really like the design of the batsuit. But all those concerns went out of the window after I finally saw the film. Robert Pattinson really brought his A game. He felt very natural in the role, with a very layered performance. His voice is also really good.
I'm vengeance.
I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Christian Bale's gravelly voice in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Where were the other drugs going?
I actually don't mind it, but I'm glad that Robert Pattinson did something different. It allowed him to convey more emotion and subtlety in his voice, which was appropriate for this film since it relied on a lot of slowly paced contemplative scenes. The design of the suit also really grew on me, but the design of the new Batmobile was a major downgrade from the Tumbler. It just looked like a used car with a few rocket launchers stuck to it. And I also thought the car chase scene with Batman and the Penguin went on for way too long and was pretty uninteresting. I know I shouldn't really compare the two, but the car chase scene in The Dark Knight was really elaborate. Meanwhile, in this film, the choreography was a bit bland. I've seen this movie twice, but both times I've kind of struggled to pay attention during that scene. But when Batman approaches the Penguin and the shot's upside down, it looks really cool. But despite loving the portrayal of Batman, I can't really say I'm all that enthusiastic about how Bruce Wayne is written. You know, I really like that aspect of the character when he tries to put on this spoiled billionaire facade, so no one in Gotham will connect him to Batman. It showed that he didn't care about his actual reputation and was more interested in fighting injustice. I just think that it's a shame that aspect seems to be lost in this film, since Bruce Wayne is just the same as Batman. An isolated, tormented recluse. I mean, the Riddler is portrayed as being really smart for having figured it out, but was it really that hard? Okay, let's talk about the Riddler now. I've only seen Paul Dano in a few films like Prisoners and Love and Mercy, all of which he was great in, and here he gave a very disturbing, unhinged, and very clearly passionate performance. For the most part, I really enjoyed his character, but there were some moments when I thought he was a bit too goofy. Like when he was singing Ave Maria and freaking out in his jail cell. I was like, I know you're literally a comic book villain, but can you tone it down a little bit? Talking about Ave Maria, I didn't really understand its significance, or why it was featured so heavily in this film. But on the other hand, Nirvana's Something in the Way really fit the tone of this movie and added a lot to the scenes it was featured in. Plus it's a good song. But I wasn't really blown away by Michael Giacchino's score. It was very cookie cutter and the main theme was a bit repetitive. That's not saying it was bad, just that I've heard it before. Matt Reeves' direction was superb. He and Peter Craig, who co-wrote the script, created a world and story that was engaging and well structured. You obviously have the mystery of the Riddler's killings running throughout the film, leading to the climax with Gotham flooding, which gave us some really powerful imagery and also made me really excited to see how the sequel would continue to build on from this. But besides the main plot, you've got all this fantastic world building going on. I really like this grungy neo-noir sort of steampunk aesthetic that Gotham has. I feel like the Dark Knight trilogy lost that comic book atmosphere after Batman Begins, but it seems like this new series will definitely lean more towards that. Adding to that was an amazing cast of supporting characters. Jeffrey Wright, like Gary Oldman, was a perfect Jim Gordon, and he and Robert Pattinson made a great detective duo. And Zoe Kravitz absolutely killed it as Catwoman. The only other live-action Catwoman I've seen is Anne Hathaway, who is a great actress, but I always felt she was trying a bit too hard in the role, and her performance just never felt believable to me. Kravitz, on the other hand, makes the role her own. She's a convincing anti-hero and at the same time is very easy to root for. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, while not bad, did feel a bit too cartoony for me. I'm sure his performance will grow on me when he has a bigger role, which I think was hinted at when Falcone was killed. The same goes for Barry Keoghan's short cameo as the Joker. Obviously it's too soon to judge his performance, but I will say I didn't really find his laugh very intimidating. But again, time will tell. So yeah, this film really exceeded my expectations in every way. This was an amazing first entry into a new era of Batman films, and if I was to give it a proper rating, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So that's the end of my review. Tell me what you thought of the film in the comments, and I'll see you next time.